Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Motojo. I'm here with Cloud, and we are here to bring you the beginning of VL Split 2 of 2022. We are in Division 3, Group B. It's Hentai against Ronin, Hira, Cloud. New split is always hype. Are you looking forward as much as I am?
Oh, I'm excited, mate. Never been more excited. Especially that this play has been delayed for a week. I've been buzzing this whole week, ready for it.
Yeah, what's MSI against Valence League? The hype cannot equal what we bring here. We're going to have a very, very fun series here. I think these two teams tend to do a bit of unusual stuff, and that is always a fun experience on stream.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of different picks that we could expect from all teams, a lot of different playstyles, multiple carries, and everything.
Yeah, and as the teams are confirming their status, if they're about to be ready, let us go over the mode one more time. This is a 6-team group in Division 3, and we're going to have a double round robin, so 10 weeks of play. Lots of games to be played, but of course you want to start on the right foot. You want to start with a victory. It's going to be a best of 3, and we're in Champ Select.
You could argue this split is more forgiving than the other splits being so long.
Yeah, 10 games is a lot of time to make up lost ground, but if you're at the top, then you can look down on the peasants below you and see who you're going to face in playoffs. Not that surprising that we see the Twitch ban here against Virus. Definitely by far his most champion in solo queue.
The Wukong has risen in priority ever since the W buffs a couple of patches ago.
Yeah, and we've seen it at MSI, obviously, with the pros. The Heimerdinger is much more of a targeted ban towards Oscar. Speaking of target bans, Fiddlesticks gone from Dingo Unleashed. Over 100 games this season on the champion, so not the biggest of surprises. Also a champion that not everybody's used to playing against, because it's not a very much played champion in solo queue.
And a very interesting first rotation Malphite coming in here for Big as a ban.
Yeah, he's always been a rock in the top lane, pun intended, very much. So it is one of the more played champions for him this season.
And Ronin Hira opt for the Karma first pick.
Yeah, that means Zyra's open. For those that don't know, Zyra has been banned very, very much in the past against Raniel, support of Hentai. And it looks like it's going to be left open this time if they pick it here, and can have a very big impact with these huge ultimates, and can enable a team to go AD mid-champion because you have the magic damage from the support role.
Do you think this Karma would potentially go mid or top lane now that the Zyra is shown in the bot lane?
I mean, I'm not the biggest expert when it comes to Zyra versus Karma support matchup, but I'm not really seeing Gandhi or Delight playing it, if I'm being honest. But of course, as we said before, these teams could always surprise us. Speaking of surprises, we have Udyr in the jungle, probably for Taui, matched against the Warwick, the second most played champion for Dingo Unleashed now that the Fiddlesticks banned.
We got a very unconventional jungle matchup right here.
Yeah.
And the MF, the classic Zyra counter.
Definitely true. Can knock out those plants with the double up. Used to be a support counter back when Zyra was in the professional meta, but as an ADC, just as effective against the support Zyra still. Now let's see if the Kai'Sa is going to be locked in for Oscar or Samvete. For now, we have the Veigar. That could also go both ways, bot lane or for mid. And of course, infinite scaling is always huge.
Yeah, but I'm seeing a lot of AP damage coming on from Hentai Haven Academy here.
Yeah, I think with that locked in, they are free to do whatever they want for the rest of the comp. They have the magic damage, they have the CC, they have the kiting, and sure, they do need physical damage. They can't just go all magic from here on, but apart from that, they're pretty free to pick whatever they want. Now, the Mordekaiser ban, not the huge surprise. Shen is something you don't want to see on a target that Warwick is ulting, so the ban does make sense. Let's see what else Hentai even want to get off the table here. There's a couple things we could think of, for example, the Akali or the Ari for Delight, but they choose to get rid of the Ornn, a champion that has risen in priority in pro play recently and is absolutely huge. He does scale so well, brings so much CC to the table, and then the Sion is Big's most played champion, even more than the Malphite. So tanks are gone. Let's see what damage is being brought now.
I would hope an ADC is picked here, leaving the top lane for counter pick. And
spicy. Yeah. No?
Oh. So is the Tahm Kench being locked in here? Probably going top for Hentai Haven?
Yeah, looks likely. Big does like his tanks, but still, I agree with you. A counterpick top would probably have made more sense because a counterpick ADC isn't going to do all that much. On the other hand, they could still bring the Veigar bot and counterpick mid lane here. Just waiting to see what is being brought. That is a Draven. That means the MF is either a support champion or the Draven's going to a solo lane.
I think it's an MF Draven bot lane with a Karma side lane on mid.
Oh. The spicy picks already going out in game 1. And now I'm just even more confused. Where is the Warwick and where's the Olaf going? Of course, Gandhi has played some Olaf in solo queue recently. Still, they have a bit of a chaos draft here and a bit of an early game draft to boot. Don't think they scale all that well with the Olaf, the Draven, and the Warwick all in the same team.
And Yasuo is a classic Draven counter. He can get rid of his axes with the wind wall.
Oh, speaking of wind walls, yeah, Samira. A big Sam Vete champion. He's played a lot of the champion, not only in solo queue, but also in VL. Classic Sam Vete champion. Now we only have to see, is it going to be Samira Zarabot or is it going to be Veigar Zarabot?
Well, I guess we'll never know until we go in game.
Yeah, and you were correct. Delight is going to be piloting the Karma in the mid lane, with the Draven and the Misfortune being the pairing in the bottom lane. Misfortune just to get rid of the Zyra plants for the most part, I would assume, to make sure this Draven can wreak havoc on the enemy team. And something I want to ask you now is, do you know anything, because I don't, about the Karma Samira matchup in mid lane?
Ooh, I'm pretty sure no one is able to kill anyone in that lane unless one of them messes up and oversteps their welcome in the lane.
Also, unusual champion in the top lane for Fatman Gandhi. The Olaf is going to be facing off against the Tahm Kench. Does feel a bit volatile to me. If the Olaf doesn't get an early lead, there shouldn't be much he can do against Tahm once Tahm has a few items and gets a bit tankier. What's your opinion on that?
I think Tahm Kench is a very good pick into Olaf. They have the Karma Olaf trying to run down someone, and then Tahm Kench will just gobble up that person that's getting run down. And then Olaf has to auto-attack the Tahm Kench or has to run to someone else, and then if not, he will lose his ultimate.
Yeah, definitely a huge ability to block the Olaf from doing what he wants there. And also, if he gets that Bramble Vest or even the Thorn Mill going, Olaf does not want to hit that Tahm.
What do you expect of the jungle matchup?
I mean, I'm not the biggest expert when it comes to jungling, but I think both these players and both these champions will want to clear fast and a lot, and then have big impact ganks. They're not going to spam ganks, I would assume, but looking for those big impact ganks. When Udyr has the flash up, he's going to want to flash bear slap people. When Warwick has that ultimate up, he's going to want to run into a lane as fast as he can and just suppress somebody to death. Not going to be the easiest task with the Veigar cage and with the Samira Windwall. And of course, the Tahm Kench is a big tanky boy. So we'll have to see how well Dingo Unleashed can use that Warwick to make the ganks happen. For the Udyr, he's going to be reliant on the stuns from Zyra, from Veigar, or from Tahm Kench, or having his flash up, as mentioned before. But really interested to see how much counter jungling we're going to see with the Samira probably going to have lane priority in the mid lane, but Olaf looking for that early prow in top.
I think Draven will also get early priority. So I would expect an early invade in bot lane from the Warwick, unless Udyr paths away from there.
Right then, looking away from lane phase before we enter our own loading screen, 5v5, who do you see in the advantage?
5v5s. Ooh, I would say if Draven and Olaf get a lead early game, I would definitely see Ronin Hira. But on the scaling side, it's definitely Hentai Haven favored.
Yeah, I very much agree here. With the Veigar and the Samira scaling so well into the later parts of the mid game and the late game, of course, the Veigar is going to be absolutely massive. And there's no one on the team of Ronin who can really stack health. Sure, Warwick and Olaf are going to get a little bit tanky. Karma's going to give them a bunch of shields, but yeah, once that Veigar has like a Rabadon's death cap, 4 or 5 items, it's going to be impossible to survive a Meteor plus ult from him. Right, then as the loading screen starts, we can gaze at their summoners, at their rune choices. We'll let you know if anything springs to our eyes here. Now a final prediction from you, Cloud. Who's going to win this game?
Oh, you put me on the spot here. I've played with Virus before, and I know he's very good mechanically, and I expect him not to disappoint me this game.
Right, then our color caster prefers Ronin. Now let's see what these players are going to bring us in the very first game of VL Split 2 of 2022. It's going to be a hype one for sure as my game crashes.
And I'm thinking we have a pause right here. Yeah, it is probably a pause since we cannot see the start of the game, or the game doesn't start, rather.
Right, and for me, I have a very, very black screen.
Me too.
Without having paused the game myself, so we're going to have to wait. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, production, for the assist. Now we're going to have to wait a little bit until we're all paused at 10 seconds to bring you the action as synchronized as possible. I am now in the position to unpause.
Me too now. I'm ready.
Right. And we're live on Summoner's Rift. It's Ronin Hira on the blue side, and on the red side we're going to have Hentai Haven as a team spread out for the very first game of this split. Hentai Haven, of course, a team that has made playoffs before, and they're going to want to look to win it this time. And can Ronin stop them? As our analyst here has predicted, we're going to have to see no invades, it looks like, for level 1.
Yeah, we got a standard 5 point from both teams coming in here, and it looks like it's the Samira mid with Ignite. Sam looking to play very aggressive here.
Beeg and Gandhi trading a little bit of a blow there, but not much happening except an axe and a tongue hitting each other. Not a sentence I expected to say when I woke up today, but here we are. Right then, looks like the junglers.
And we can see the bot lane of Hentai Haven going for an early word on the Raptors, but that word will not see much.
Yeah, we'll only see an invade coming. I don't think it can see the chickens. Could maybe see the edge of them, but it's debatable. Both junglers looking to start on the red buff. And the ward from Ronin is very much seeing the chickens. So well done there for Delight. Now let's see where the pathing brings them, if we're going to have any cheeky level 2 ganks. Do you think they're gonna?
I believe Warwick is gonna opt on a 3-camp clear into top lane.
Does look like he's immediately going to the blue side.
And this Udyr doesn't seem to be full clearing, so he might look for another 3-camp clear Red Raptors Gromp into bot lane as well. We might have a 3-minute split map gang.
Well, that would be surely an interesting thing to see. Already we see the top laners trading a lot more blows than the other lanes for now. Beak hitting yet another tongue lash. That is big damage onto Gandhi. But of course, Olaf likes being at half HP. It means he has a lot of attack speed to work with to last at these minions. And if any bigger trades would happen, more of that level 2 here for the Draven and the MF. And that is big damage on Oscar for level 2.
Yeah, we can see the early lead, minion lead coming in for Draven here and making use of that early game.
Alright, MF is being pinged, missing, but only warding the river for now. No cheeky invade there early on. That MFE, the Make It Rain, already doing a lot of work in lane to make sure the Draven has the freest ability to farm and to harass his opponents. Here comes the first engage from Samvete, dashing forward onto Delight. Not all too much happening there.
Sure, a little trade. Warwick looked for something early game, but Samvete was in an early safe position. He didn't push up. He was chilling. He's gonna scale.
Yeah, and there's the first gank in the mid lane. Taui is doing a lot of damage to Delight, but here comes Dingo Unleashed for the counter gank. Fear not proccing against anyone, so everybody walks away unscathed. No summon is used. Except the Ghost, actually, from Udyr.
Yeah. Both junglers now go and claim their Skull Crabs. Pretty standard gameplay now. MF might be in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, here comes the gank in the bot lane. Oscar is very low, but Meow is being chased away by the Udyr. Now Draven is in between everybody, but the axes are flying. That is so much damage. Ego flashes forward first, but goes to Draven. That is so big, a double kill. Level 3 for the bot lane. Absolute domination here. Delight though gets solo killed by Samvete with the help of the Ignite, while the top laners are also trying to kill each other. Everybody goes forward. Flash from Beak, solo kill top lane. Solo kill mid lane and top for Hentai Haven, but Samvete needs the flash to get away from Dingo. It's 2 for 2 across the map, but the Draven is going to love this from now on.
This is a bloodbath. What is happening? Everyone is fighting.
Yeah, Hentai Haven in the bot lane, I think, not respecting the minion damage there, trying to gank the Draven and MF, but Draven's just free-firing while the Udyr is chasing the MF, and it costs them both bot laners. Meanwhile, Gandhi has to peek back to lane and is forcing Beak back himself. Right, just look at that farm gap in the bot lane already. With that double kill, Draven is already at double Vygar's gold.
Yeah, Draven is smiling right now. Very hard.
Yeah, I mean, isn't he always? He's Draven. But even harder than most times, I would assume, with a 1,200 gold lead on himself. The solo lanes could look a bit worrying, though, if the solo kills come in early. While we look at the bot lane farm lead, of course, Samvete is also already 2 waves ahead of Delight. So that is going to be very tough to deal with for the Karma, I think, for the next few minutes of the game. If Hentai Haven can stabilize the bot lane, they should be in a good position here.
Yeah, I would expect this game to be a Samvete against Virus show. Now that they are both ahead from against their lane opponents.
Well, there is going to be a root landing, but speaking of things landing, Beak misses that knock-up and gets hit by an axe, and they're just trading blows behind the minion wave. That is not good for Olaf. He's very far away from the minions. He gets gobbled up. Level 6 reached first by Beak, and he's going to try to kill this Olaf. One more stack, and he can land a Q for the stun, but Gandhi made it under his own turret, just barely not getting killed again.
The minion being the MVP in that fight. Blocking the tongue lash for Gandhi. And now Gandhi can just collect all this wave. He's gonna be chilling, but we can see early priority from Hentai Haven. I would expect them to go for a Drake here with a lane prior, but Warwick is hovering around.
Alright, then looks like the dragon attempt has been abandoned for now. That's a very good ward from the side of Ronin on the blue buff of Hentai Haven. So they know that the Udyr is in the vicinity, and now the gank is coming that they know Udyr has walked away. Here comes Dingo. Can he land the fear? Flashes forward, does not land the fear because he gets rooted up by the Vygar cage. Now Virus is eating a lot of damage from these plants without accomplishing anything. Well defended from Hentai Haven.
Yeah, these plants must really hurt him.
Mid lane still not changing much. Here comes Samvete for another attempt at Delight's life, but for now just loses a bunch of HP to the cannon minion.
Let's talk about items, shall we? We can see the early Bramble Vest coming out of Big to reduce that healing from Olaf. Olaf is known for healing a lot.
Yeah, just presses W and is gains a lot of lifesteal with the attack speed he gains from having less than 100% max life. Of course, the Bramble Vest is going to be a huge item against him, especially to ensure that lane dominance. But Virus just destroyed the bot lane of Hentai by his lonesome. A 1v2 double kill. That does not bode well for Hurtbirds in the bot lane.
I was gonna touch up on Virus having the early Shin and the Coffin's Hammer, a lot of AD and a lot of auto attack power into such a squishy bot lane.
And just it turns out misses and he kills them.
Yeah.
This also means the first dragon for the side of Ronin, just being picked up by Dingo and Eagle here. That means they are now at a 1500 gold lead with a very, very, very fed Draven and a Mountain Drake to their name. Just to remind you guys, Draven has about 4600 gold, while Vega is sitting at about 2100 total gold. That is a huge difference, and it's not going to be made up by Samvete in the mid lane alone, who's about 900 ahead of Delight.
Draven already having the Essence Reaver.
Jesus Christ.
The Berserker Greaves. He is set up for success this game.
Yeah. They just need to make sure the game doesn't go so long that Draven's just going to be hitting Udyr and Tahm Kench and not accomplishing much. If they can make the game short enough that he can keep hitting squishies in the fights, they are going to be in a golden position to carry this Draven, to be carried by this Draven through to the end of the game. They need to stabilize their solo lanes though, because this Samira and this Tahm Kench are already getting pretty big.
And now Samira is quite getting poked out by this Karma in the mid lane.
Yeah, but look at Sam's farm. He's almost at 10 per minute.
Yeah. I think he is actually at 10 per minute.
He's gonna recall now with 1700 gold as well. That's gonna mean a lot. Yeah, there we go. He's just purchased a full Noon Quiver and boots. Some armor as well already early on against this Olaf and Draven.
Now that the Drake is down and the only objective on the map is Herald, should we expect any rotations from these teams?
I mean, that is a big bullet time, forcing the flash out of Ranio. I would say, with the Draven being their strong point as much as it is, I think they should keep the Draven in the lane that he's winning as long as they can to grow that lead. So I'm not sure if forcing Herald here is the right call, but if they kill Beeg here, which they are going to try and do, here comes the ultimate from both of them, and Beeg has no way out against the suppress from the Warwick. Can't see the Olaf, and that's an easy pickup.
Yeah, the Infinite Duress just stops the Olaf from going into his abyssal voyage. And now we see a 4-man in the bot lane.
Yeah, it's looking like they want revenge here. There they come. Stun lands onto Virus. Can they get a shutdown? No, they can't. He flashes away under the turret. Just gets away from Towie and Samvete. Almost got him. But they did only force the flash from both of them, though.
And both Towie and Samvete showing in the bot lane means that there's a free Herald for the side of Ronin Hira.
Yeah, Dingo picked it up, and now they're going to run mid with it. They might even actually already proc it, as Samvete is only on the way back. Yeah, they do it. They're going to get a lot of plates here, but Sam is looking for... Oh no, he's went the greedy way! Can dash to the minions, though, to get out of that one. Just barely alive. Gonna need to defend this tower from behind, though, as the plates are destroyed, and the gold lead grows to almost 3,000 for the side of Ronin. Well, Draven is just hitting the turret by himself.
Well, right, now Veigar has been left alone.
Yeah, is the meteor strong enough to kill the minions by itself already? I doubt that very much. So if you are Hentai here, Cloud, what would you attempt to do to stop the Draven from going even further? Oh, Olaf will forced here.
Ooh, I'll get to that point in a second whilst this fight in the top lane finishes.
If Beeg lands another Q while Olaf has the stacks, it's over, but... the Ragnarok allowing Barolaf to walk away from this one. I think they've stopped fighting for the moment.
Ooh, what if I was Ronin? not Ronin, Hentai Haven right now, excuse me, I would definitely look to freeze the lanes.
Oh.
Freezing the lanes will allow them to scale. They might have to give up like 2 Drakes, but get your Veigar, get your Samira in a position where they can team fight.
Right, then for now, we will have to treat Hentai Haven's comp like a team fight comp, and what does a team fight comp want to do? They want to team fight, and they don't want to not team fight. And that is basically what they do. NA level analysis, ladies and gentlemen, we got there.
That was a good one, Joe.
I mean, if Mark Z and Kobe can do it, we can do it too. Right, then another duel in the top lane. Fatman Gandhi still has not had enough of the tongue lashings from Big Urchin, and he's going to land another Q here. Here's the knockup. This time there's no Ragnarok. He could get him if he lands the Q as the directed camera pans away for some reason. But he doesn't land the Q. Olaf will have to recall there.
And we get this Drake coming up, and there's going to be a contest. There's going to be
he goes in the baby cage. There lands the knockup. Already the death of Misfortune has happened, but here comes Draven. It's a 4v3. They need to kill the Draven, though. They get the shutdown with the Veigar ultimate, and now they're going to shred everybody down. Sam Vete gets another kill for himself. Can Delight get away? Sam Vete flashes behind him to get the kill. It's a double for the Samira, and suddenly everything has been turned on its head. Hentai Haven absolutely destroying Ronin in the Drake fight.
Yeah, looks like I was wrong. Looks like Samira with Primordial Burst from Veigar and with a Zyra ultimate is they are strong enough to teamfight, whilst Udyr is frontlining for them.
Oh, the Ragnarok is back up, so now Fatman Gandhi fancies his chances against Big Urchin. Flashes, forces the flash. Now B can turn around again. The Ragnarok will be running out, and that means the threat of a kill for the Olaf is gone for now. I would just say, well played by Hentai Haven, and a bit greedy from Ronin. They thought their lead on the Draven was so big that they could just walk into them. But that is a Zyra Veigar lane together with an Udyr. They want you to run into them, and that's exactly what happened there, and so they could destroy them.
Yeah, both the bot laners not having flash up from the previous play made by Hentai Haven really hurt Ronin Hira.
Yeah, definitely correct there. If the Draven is able to flash away from that Zyra ultimate, from that Veigar cage, easy peasy, right? But Flash was down, and they got the kills. And now Taui is chasing Delight into the enemy jungle. He's got Sam Vete right behind him, but here comes Eagle, and the bullet time does a lot of damage to this Udyr, and here comes the flash forward from Dingo to get the fear, and a pause happens at the exact time when the chains could proc.
Oh man, I was really looking forward to see how this fight turns out, because we can see where we called is up in just like 3 seconds. Yeah, it's up in 3 seconds from now, and then Samira might be able to like turn it around, kill everyone before the 3 seconds, because she already has 3 stacks. She's very ahead.
Yeah, she does not have the Blade Wall available for 26 more seconds, so cannot try to block the Warwick ultimate. Will have to let Udyr die if that Infinite Duress comes through, and it's still a 2v3. No matter how strong this Samira is against 3 people, it's going to be really tough. The heal has just been activated by MF to get that move speed, so I do assume they're going to catch them. Now with the heal down, though, can Samira make the fight happen? It's going to be tough because it's basically a 1v3. I don't think Taui can be of any help here, except like maybe smiting somebody for a bit of damage.
I'm pretty sure the Samira W cannot block the Warwick ult because Warwick is not a projectile.
I mean, that does depend upon your definition of what a projectile is. You are correct, she cannot block the ultimate. What I mean is, like, if she presses a W as Warwick attempts to ult her, no other projectiles will damage her while the Warwick is scratching away at her, right? And there's the MF Karma, they do shoot a lot of projectiles. As we are looking at the internet problems, hopefully soon dissolved for Big, who does seem to have the internet trouble.
The Draven ult looks weird on the interface.
Yeah, there's a question mark there. It does seem like the client does not recognize the ultimate of Draven. But we know what it looks like, we know what it does, and that is tons of damage, as good old Freak would say. Does look like we are about to be ready to be unpausing.
Oh, the reason it looks like that is because if you look on the minimap, Draven ult is in the top blue side jungle by the wolf camp.
There it is. All right. I don't know why he ulted there, but we'll have a reason. There comes Samvete. As you predicted, he's going in, and he gets the rampage going. Now dashes away from the Karma. The Udyr falls in response, but Samvete gets triple kill against Ronin, and that they did not expect, despite you, Cloud, expecting it. Now, as the game resets itself from the pause, that is a usual spectator bug. Do not be worried, ladies and gentlemen. Cloud, now Ronin on the back foot. What do?
I don't know, they're a bit too behind on a comp that needed to get stuff early, get stuff done. They really need to kill this Samira, and they need to use everything on it.
Virus is in the baby cage. He cannot run away. He has to fight this. There comes the root. There comes the ultimate from Oscar. The time is over where he can 1v2 them by himself. With the Everfrost on the Veigar, that ensures kills. Now, Beak and Fatman just standing there dueling. They're too much of a Chad, both of them, to run away and try to fight outside of minion waves. They're just hitting away at each other. And this time, Fatman Gandhi comes up on top with the Olaf healing, despite that Bramble Vest. The healing still is there with a Gore Drinker as well. He gets that solo kill for himself. That looked very funny though, with them just standing there hitting away at each other.
None of them decided to like dodge an ability to pick up an axe.
Oh, turret falls. Now Samvete is on low HP though. But for the first time this game, Hentai do have some kind of lead. It's over 15, almost 1500 actually, for them, which is a good omen. They do have that one Drake as well. Earl, in 2.5 minutes, the next one is going to spawn. And since we have the Infernal map, the Dragon will be hugely impactful in this game, with only one true tank across both teams.
And what do you expect coming in the neck of from either teams? The Herald is up in like 10 seconds.
I do think Ronin need to go for that one, because they need to stabilize this game. They need to get back into the lead. They need their Draven to be able to be a threat to everybody on Hentai team, and they do need some gold picked up for that. The Herald would enable them to do that. They already have the mid-priority because of the Draven. Getting that turret there.
They rotated the Draven up there. Karma is fine, just chilling, wave clearing against the Veigar, and now Zyra rotates up here, so we might have a fight.
The top laners never stop dueling. They just do top lane things. Sit there on their island and hit each other in the face. Oh, this time Beak could have the advantage, though. Ragnarok has been used by Gandhi, and Beak is at his turret. So now he can just wait out the Ragnarok and then strike back once he hits level 12 himself.
Really
is alive. Warwick's coming. Oh, they're gonna go at each other again, but Warwick's here. Beak, you cannot win a 1v2. Here comes the fear. Beak is under the turret, but can he run away enough? He's suppressed by the Infinite Arrest, but he's swallowed the Olaf. Only one of them can hit them, and Fatman Gandhi's on the tower, will get killed by it. Beak outplays the 1v2. Huge play from the Anti-Haven top laner.
Why are they trying to dive at Kench?
To be perfectly fair, they didn't technically dive him in the first part of it. They ulted him right outside, but he'd already eaten the Olaf and spit him under the turret.
Yeah.
Don't think running away was an option at that point without the Ragnarok up.
You're right, and it seems like
super well played though.
Yeah, really well played by Big.
Now Herald has not been attempted again.
And Warwick sees.
Oh, Big's low.
Uh-oh.
He's coming, he's sniffing you. Is a big catfish. It's going to be a huge prize for that wolf. And he goes for it, lands the fear in the correct direction. Could be stunned by a tongue lash, but Beak is so low. Tries to get away with the voyage. Does get away for now, but Dingo is going to be running very, very fast. Another tongue lash slows him, and Beak actually gets away. Bullet time used to try and steal Drake, but not enough damage. Smite goes down from Taui, and Hentai even firmly in control of the game. Oh, and they're not stopping. They're going for Virus. They're chasing. Taui pressed the Ghost, but I don't think they want to chase too deep.
They got 2-item Draven. They really need to make something happen now. They need to play around the Draven. But it seems that they want to play around the Olaf, rather.
Yeah, they're chatting it out again in the top lane, just standing there in the wave. Oh, that's a flash force from Eagle. Taui, with the threat of the Bear Slap, forces that flash from the Misfortune.
Yeah, very little CC coming out from the comp of...
Oh, Taui, that was greedy. Oh. Oscar flashes over the wall. Here comes the baby cage. Virus flashes into it and needs to use the cleanse. And here comes Sambete absolutely annihilating the Draven and is now godlike 7-0-1. Better than Samira against Hentai Haven. Now the top laners fight again. Olaf is eaten up, uses Ragnarok to get out of the belly of the catfish, but now gets knocked up. The Ragnarok is running out, and Gandhi has the 3 stacks, and Beak needs to press that shield, and they're still dueling, and here comes the kill for who will it go? Will it be Beak? Tries to get the knockup, cannot do it. Talalash lands, flash forward kill. Now Beak gets revenge for the earlier solo kill, and it's the 3rd kill for him. Hentai Haven, they are winning everywhere on the map.
I really like how Virus flashed and realized, like, the next 0.1 seconds he realized he flashed back into the cave, so the cleanse comes out instantly.
Yeah, he flashed right onto the edge of it. That's a bit unlucky there. Then he didn't have the cleanse, for example, to get rid of Semvate's Ignite, but I think at the point where the Samira with 6 kills and the Collector is standing in your face, there isn't any escape. Should have probably just walked into the cage and then flashed once Samira got in, but that is decisions in parts of seconds that we can't really rightfully criticize there.
Yeah.
Now, the gold has stayed remarkably the same, the difference at least, for these past few minutes. Despite Hentai Haven winning all the fights, they're still about 1,500 gold ahead. The problem for Ronin here is with their comp, is there really a way back into this game? They are 1-2 when it comes to Drakes, they are behind in gold, they have a fed Draven, but on the other side, the Samira is much more fed than the Draven is, and their comp scales worse. Is there anything they can still do to come into the game?
This is gonna sound very ironic, or rather very cliche, but they need to play for picks.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense, right? If you can get the Draven in situations where he's with a team with more people, he can still shine.
Yeah, man advantage. They really need man advantage, and they really need to look at this squishy targets like the Zyra, like the Veigar, to pick off.
Beeg's looking for a fight again. These top laners, as we said before, never stop fighting, forcing Fatman Gandhi's flash even. Oh no! He can eat him from that distance! That's not good for Gandhi. He doesn't have the Ragnarok available. Once Beeg gets another Q in, he's gonna stun the Olaf. Can he get him? There's the stun. Here comes Toei and Oscar from behind. The Udia picks up the kill. This will mean the the tower as well. Hentai Haven once again are early to the punch.
Yeah, and Ronin Hira need to do something on this bot side. They already lost the top lane play. They have man advantage there.
But Draven's in base, what can they really do? Not sure why Draven's in base, probably because of the recall timing for that Drake that's spawning in a minute. But they have the Herald, they make the play. The gold will not go to Draven in any capacity, but at least they're doing something with that Herald they've picked up earlier. Draven, meanwhile, is taking jungle camps.
Yeah, and now they want to chase. I even want to chase them, but they opt against it after the MF slows.
Yeah, dragon spawning in 40 seconds here. It's the second one of the Infernal Sword. And it would put Hentai Haven on soul point if they got this. So it could be absolutely huge. They're catching the MF, recalling, and that's not good for Igor. That time Kench is very tanky and does a surprising amount of damage to squishies. Now they're chasing in onto Virus. He's in the 2v3. Sembate charges forward. Here comes the bullet time. Zara ultimate knocks the Warwick up, but Sembate has bitten off more than he could chew. He gets shut down by the Karma, and it's 2 kills though for Hentai Haven. The chase could be in though. Gandhi presses the Ragnarok. He's against 3 low health targets. The Beak can only do so much. The Olaf is chasing the rest of the team. The Everfrost roots him down though. Now that the Ragnarok has ended, he can still get the double kill onto the Udia. Veigar seems to have gotten away here, and Beak is chasing Delight. Such a chaotic fights on all sides, but Beak is unstoppable. Oscar goes golden. Gandhi falls to him. It's the ace for Hentai Haven in a fight that started abysmally with their most fed member dying, and they still, amongst all the chaos, win out in the fight and will get the Drake.
Ronin Hira managed to CC Samira. They managed to CC Sambete, who overstepped. Who couldn't get his ult down. He blocks the whirling death by the Draven, but not much you can do afterwards.
Yeah, and now Hinterhaven are on Soul Point, and the longer the game goes, the stronger their comp becomes, respective against what Ronin have drafted for themselves. This Veigar isn't getting any weaker, and this Draven isn't going to get much stronger in the respective matter of things. Similar to that Olaf, sure he can be a threat to batlines, as we just saw when the fight is at the later stages of the game. But there will be a point in the game where you can't just stop him. Speaking of hopping in Samet, flashes onto Virus, gets the Ignite, it's ticking down, he kills him with the Collector, picks it up, 1v1.
You can see Virus tries his best to survive that, even predicting where Samira's gonna land instantly. But not much he can do when Samira is this ahead.
Yeah, just absolutely smashed him. The Flare doing so much damage here. Together with the attack speed buff from the Wild Rush. Now, Oscar in the 1v1 against Olaf. That could be dangerous for both of them. But Taui is coming as well. I don't think Gandhi can stay here. But he's on the wrong side of the lane. He uses the Ragnarok to try and get away. But it will run out in time. Here comes the Bear Slap. Gandhi against 2. He is going to get caught out and die. Oh no, can he get away?
Easy.
Taui's going to chase him on the turret. Picks up the kill for himself. And that's 11 for 21 on the other side, and now Eagle has been caught by B. That is a very big catfish against a very small MF. Dingo, though, coming for the rescue. It's a 4v1. Beak has gone too deep, but he gets the kill anyway. He's dominating. He flashes away. He gets the blast cone. Virus is chasing him and will pick up the kill. But it's a 1-for-1 for all that effort. And meanwhile, the bot lane tower's gone.
I would expect Ronin Hira to really look for the Samira right now, to really try to pick her off. She's no flash. They have a Warwick ult, they really need to kill her.
Yeah, but for the moment, they have to wait for their top end support to respawn. Hinterhaven's looking to attack the bot lane. Dingo's being caught out. He's behind enemy lines. The Everfrost roots him. He's in the baby cage. No escape, no life. He is playing Grey Screen Simulator for the next 40 seconds as Hinterhaven pushed down the bot lane.
Hentai just say, this is our jungle now, it's our property, you shouldn't be here, Dingle.
Yeah, they've been catching out the members of Ronin time and time again in these past few minutes. They are really smart this game when it comes to being at the right spot at the right time.
Oh. Now we see 3 items for Draven. Do you think he's going to be able to do something now that he has the LDR?
The problem is, a Draven without a front line, like, what can he really do? He can't, like, fire off a bunch of auto attacks. Gandhi flashes forward onto Sam Vete, but Sam just dashes into the team, doesn't care about the Olaf, doesn't care about anything. He's killing them all. He's barely alive, but he's killed 2, and Udi has killed another one. And now he falls to the MFE. Well done by Igor, but will it cost her her life? Taui is chasing down with the second blast cone. Gets her away. Here comes the Veigar to save his jungler. It's a 3-for-2. Hentai even come out ahead, but just so barely.
He can keep going, he has ult.
He's unstoppable. That was a bit overkill, but he does get that kill onto the MF. 4-for-2 overall. Dragon in 90 seconds. It will be Soul for Hentai. At this point, I think Ronin starts to need a miracle to still win the game.
Yeah, they need to get, like, 2 teamfight wins in a row.
7
the Baron. They need a massive mess up from the team of Hentai Haven.
Yeah, very smart decision making, honestly, in my opinion, from Sam Vete in that last fight. He saw Olaf flashing forward onto him. He just flashes and dashes forward into the squishies of the enemy team. That also brings him away from the Olaf and into a zone where he can deal so much damage and heal up so much with the shield bow as well. Very nice choice there, because the Olaf could not chase anymore, having used the flash to skip the wall.
And now we see both teams grouping up for this Drake. It's Soul Point for the team of Hentai Haven.
Oh no, Virus is isolated. Taui's chasing, gets the stun, Sam Vete dashes in, gets the kill, and now it's going to be a slaughter. The Warwick ults hit Sam Vete, but at this point it's too late for him to care. Double kill goes over to Oscar. 7 kills now for him as well. Now Tori and Gandhi are fighting it out. The Olaf is slightly winning, but Udia knows reinforcements are coming. Can he get Oscar? Now Oscar has a stopwatch in the form of an hourglass, and it's a clean ace for Hentai Haven. They're going to get the Dragon Soul, and then they can choose if they try to end or get the Baron. I think they got to the Baron, but now they are 8,000 gold ahead. They have the Infernal Soul. I think one miracle isn't going to be enough anymore, Cloud. There, Ronin are going to need 2 of them.
Yeah, indeed. They get the soul. Now they get the Baron. All they need is to break open the base now.
Yeah, no Baron contest either. Draven doesn't have his ultimate available. MF is too far away to try to steal it, so no steal even possible from this range. They get the Baron now that needs over 10,000 in accordance, in addition to that soul. And now all they need to do, as you said, is break open that base and crack that Nexus. They do not have any teleports available to them, so I would assume they try to push out the sidelines a little bit, but then group in the mid, where there's more towers available to crack, so they can collect even more gold on the way to their victory. Semvete picks up the red buff for some additional damage, but they're not yet trying to push. It seems they're waiting for Ranio on the Zyra there. A little bit surprised that neither Zyra nor the Samira got banned, and now we know why these champions are so often banned against Hentai Haven. Just gives them so much strength and so much comfort, and now they're pushing down the mid lane to try and end the game.
And Big just jumps in the tower. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he's a big old catfish. He can tank a couple shots all day long. And now they're going for it. The baby cage lands, and that's already a dead delight. Virus cannot get away. The bullet time does decent damage, but it's 3 dead already on the side of Ronin. 4, and Olaf is in the top lane. Fatman Gandhi isn't even defending. He does have the teleport, but he must have realized the fight was already lost before he could even be there when the teleport comes, and so Hentai Haven will end the game. And without giving up another kill, they take the towers, they take the Nexus, and are leading the series 1-0. That was well played by Hentai Haven. After that early double kill, that early 4 kills on Draven, it did look a bit doomed, but they did very well to come back into this game, especially in the solo lanes, but also in the skirmish there around the Cloud Drake earlier on, the second Drake of the game, where from behind they got the kill onto the Draven and they won the fight. They got a triple kill on Samira, and from there on it was all Hentai Haven. They snowballed that to a victory.
Yeah, I do agree. And Ronin and Hira tried to play for the early game for the Draven, but end up falling short in a Drake fight where Samira ends up getting a huge lead and pushes it to the end of the game.
Yeah, I do think Ronin need to work on their draft a little bit. If they go for something like a Draven, they need to give him some form of frontline that doesn't just charge into the enemy team, that enables him to get some auto attacks off. Draven does have big impact auto attacks, but he's not the very fastest auto attacker in the game. All right then, Cloud, what do you think they need to do for that second game? Do you think they need to focus on changing their bans? Do you think they need to just rebuild their composition from the beginning up?
Oh, I don't think the bans need to be changed necessarily. I think that it's more of an issue of the picks, because now they know Hentai Haven got the flex picks in their back pocket. So I do think now that they expect them to be able to be flex around, they will adapt accordingly, or should adapt accordingly.
All right then, we are going to see what happens in just a couple of minutes. We're stepping away for 5. Do not touch your browser. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Valence League's Split 2 of 2022. We are in Division 3, Group B. Yes, that is a mouthful. I am aware of that, but we're going onward. I'm Motojam with Cloud, and we are watching Hentai versus Ronin. Hira and Hentai took the first game in convincing fashion. After being behind a 4-0 Draven, they turned it around, they got that W, and the bands seem to not have changed all that much yet. Cloud, what do you expect from game 2?
The target bands being kept. So I would expect more traditional draft from the side of Ronin Hira right now. Because they tried with the experimental one and it very much didn't really work out. So I would expect them to opt back for something more traditional.
Yeah, and they do get rid of the Samira that destroyed them in the first game, so Samvate is going to have to play something else. On the other hand, Virus isn't going to get the Draven either in game 2. Twitch and that banned, so he's going to have to opt for something else like the Jinx or the Kai'Sa in the second game. Zara banned as well away from Ranio. That is by far her most played champion. So changes in the support and mid for Hentai are going to have to be made, and there's the Morgana lock-in immediately. Also technically a flex pick, but we do expect it to go support, right?
Yeah, probably. Should be. And with the counter pick, I don't know if it's a counter really, I think it's an even matchup. Renata's being hover right now.
If they lock it in, that will be a bit of a surprise. Here comes the Yuumi for Eagle. That does fit the name a little more.
So they are very much playing for a hyperscaling ADC, I think. Something Virus really likes to play, as in like the Twitch, the Jinx.
No, locked in. Warwick didn't work out that well in game 1, and they do opt to not pick it again for Dingo. They go Nunu and Willump. And let's see.
Don't forget Willump.
Yeah, the gank potential is going to be big with these rolling snowballs. There's going to be a lot of move speed as well if the Yuumi hops on. So the engages are going to be there. Now they just need to work out against Morgana. Not the easiest thing in the world. And here's the Wukong that was banned in game 1.
Let's go. I really like this champion. He can get so many creative ganking paths with his W over walls now.
Yeah, and the ultimate, of course, a huge teamfight impact ultimate, but also has potential to invade the enemy jungle and solo kill the opponent there, because the damage potential does get quite big quite quickly, because the ultimate has such a high base damage value.
And since the Wukong showed, rank pick right here.
That could be mid, that could be support, or Oscar picks it up, like the Veigar in game 1 for the bottom lane carry position.
And I would expect the ADC to go out here. Probably the Jinx to outrange everyone. Excuse me.
Let's see what they do. No hovers, so quick lock-in for Delight. It's the Ahri he picks for himself. Ahri, of course, high-impact champion. Lots of pick potential, lots of creative ways to change the flow of a fight, and very high priority even in pro play at the very moment. And a champion we've seen Delight pilot before. Malphite gets banned again away from Big.
My other idea was, if you're not picking ADC here and you leave ADC for later, to pick, or even if you pick the ADC, to pick double AP solo laners, because Wukong is an armor stacking champion, but since they banned the Malphite, they might look for an AD top laner.
Oh, Yasuo banned away as well. That is very much targeted at Samvete. Does play that champion a lot if allowed. Jinx gone though from Virus, so the strongest hyper carry champion is gone for now, but Tristana, for example, is still available in case Virus plays that. Does not pair as well with the Yuumi though.
No, I do think Tristana and Yuumi are very good. Especially when they think that level 6 they can jump in, CC the enemy, set up Tristana to get that bomb to explode.
And they forgot their ban.
Oh.
Okay, that is a thing that just happened. And I'll need to close my window for the moment because the rain started.
So, yeah, it is the Tristana coming in out here.
All right, then. You were a
Oh,
fan
no.
of the Tristana. They did hover it, but Virus wants the Kog'Maw.
Kog'Maw, man. Why are they playing for scaling? I just want to see a lot of early game fighting with the Nunu.
Oh, it looks like I have lost connection to Champion Select.
You're not the only one.
Oh, I am back. All right, the Gangplank is being hovered by Oscar. That would probably go to Big, but yeah, Gangplank not the biggest of champions. The Scion does make much more sense with what we know Big to like to play. Here it is, the Scion. It was banned in Game 1. He's allowed to play it in Game 2, and here he comes.
Oh. Now that they have a Wukong, a Sona.
That will surprise me, but they lock it in.
Okay, I really want to see Virus.
They have no ADC.
Yeah, I really want Virus to build Pan Kog'Maw this game, to go like Shilbo into like Titanic Runans and Wits End. That would be so
definitely.
good.
The question is, who's mid, who is support, and who is bottom lane for Hentai Haven?
I'm guessing it's Morgana Sona bot lane.
Could be. The Ornn locked in. That was also banned in the first game. Very, very strong champion at the moment. And will be facing the Scion in the top lane. I do think that matchup should be Ornn favored in the earlier stages.
I do believe this game.
Wait.
Oh.
They swap it around. Samvete is going to be on the Scion, it seems, in the top lane. And we're having a dodge here. Looks like there's probably some internet connection issues. We do hope to get through and select again soon enough. All right, the game crashed for Big. Even shows still in the client that he's in the champion select that we just lost. So we're going to have to try to resolve this issue as quickly as we can to bring you all the high-level gameplay that you come to expect and love from Valorant League.
If I were to say my favorite this game would be, just like last game, would be Ronin Hira. They have Virus to hyper carry their 2 tanks in front of him. They have Ari to look for a pick on the very squishy champions of Hentai Haven. And they have the Yuumi to just sit on him and buff him up to eternity.
Yeah, and also Hentai Haven without a classical AD carry, no marksman in their team composition. This time they are the one who need to make the early lead work, because if the game goes to later stages where the Kog'Maw can just auto-attack away with the tanks in front of him and the Yuumi to heal and speed him up, there is no way they win a late game 5v5, even with the Scion. They're going to rely on, for not the early game, they're going to have to rely on the Scion split push. It can work. Their composition can work, especially if they get an early lead. But very much as I agree with you, the onus of execution is going to be on them this time to show their merit to roll over this game, because, yeah, if the game goes late, they are doomed.
How do they kill Kog'Maw?
They do it before 25 minutes. Brand burn, I would say. Brand burn. And Wukong. But at a certain point in the game, the Wukong will not get by the front line. They will need to rely on creative flanks.
Yeah, but even if they flank, they have a lot of healing for Mr. Kog'Maw, Mr. Virus in the Yuumi. And I think if Wukong jumps alone, Wukong is not a very scaling champion. Yes, he's strong in the mid game, but after, let's say, that 25-minute mark passes, they have no way of killing the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, they're going to need a huge lead at 25 minutes if they want to win this game. That much should be for sure.
They really need to target this bot lane early.
Yeah, I agree very much. The top lane is 2 tanks. That there's not all too much to be gained there. The mid lane could be interesting. With the Ari and Yeah, what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Morgana just to neutralize it, or is it going to be Brand and we have the Morgana and Sona in the bot lane?
I would really dislike if it. Well, I would really dislike if it's either of the picks bot lane, because if Brand is mid lane, he can't do much. And if Brand is bot lane, he can do something, but then Morgana can't do much mid lane either, and Ari will just shove in with the Q and roam bot and then pick them off that way. You really need the Black Shield to stop the Ari, and I think it's a lose-lose situation here for Hentai Haven.
Right, update on the internet situation. It seems like Big Ocean still has internet troubles. They are being resolved, we hope, as quickly as they can. And until then, we are just going to have to wait just a little bit longer, but hopefully not that long. I just want to understand this thought process that Hentai Haven goes through. They have the Brand, they have the Morgana, they have the Scion, and they have the Wukong. Why lock Sona?
Well,
What is the thought process behind it? Because they do have brains. Sometimes they might not use them, but they do have them. Why go for this Sona? What is their plan, you think?
I'll break it down for you if you want, Joe.
Go right ahead.
They have a Wukong who can flank from invisibility. He has a gap closer with the E. He has a knock-up on the ult, right?
Correct.
Brand usually takes Slash. Morgana usually takes Slash. Sion can ult in the team fight.
Or what you want to say is it's a team fight comp.
And then Sona just sits back, relax, might press ult on someone, then tries to jump on her, and just kills everyone from behind.
And presses Q to do some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a team fight comp. They want a team fight, right?
Yeah. Well,
problem is problem is they're against a team fight comp that probably does the team fighting a bit better than the other team fight comp, unless they kill the main carry of the team fight comp, the Kog'Maw, early on. Then the other team fight comp should out team fight the first team fight comp.
Or hear me out. Sion just buys Hullbreaker, never sits with the team. Brand and Morgana perma wave clear, been healed up by Sona, and then they're chilling like that, and then Sion just split push.
No, I want to see fights. I want to see kills. I want to see blood.
Well, which one do you think it's more likely, second or first scenario?
Oh God, this is VL Division 3 we're talking about. We are going to see these guys fight, but also this is Beak we're talking about. This guy plays a lot of Narcissus. He's also going to split push a lot, so we're going to have to look out for that teleport summoner spell on Big Urchin to see when fights are going to be happening and when it's going to be split push town.
Yeah, and it seems like Ronin and Hira are ready to go back in the game. We just need to wait on Hentai Haven.
Yeah, I assume Champion Select is going to be a lot faster than we are used to seeing because we already know what everybody's going to pick. They just need to go through the motions again so the game can start once Hentai Haven are sure that the internet issue is resolved. And it looks like it is. We are back in Champ Select. This is going to be hopefully a quick one. And then I'm very much looking forward to see what Hentai Haven want to accomplish with this composition and if they can do it.
I watched enough bows to see how this champion tends to play.
To be fair, with the recent nerf to his zombie damage, he's not just gonna sit in side lanes, get killed, and then still kill the tower. He's going to have to use his brain just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you say that, but instead of hitting the towers, he can just hit the minions when he dies, and the minions will kill the tower after.
that is true. That is true.
But right, I do not know if the Demolish damage got nerfed on the passive? Do you happen to know?
I do not know, no.
Okay.
What I do know is that I agree with you very much that I like the composition that Ronin have built for themselves. It's very straightforward. We have a couple tanks to engage. They can engage from very long range. We have an AP assassin that has a lot of ways to reposition around the fight or find picks. And then we have a hyper-scaling bot lane. ADC and support both scale incredibly well, and the ADC can do so much damage in the later stages of the game. It's very straightforward. They want to team fight you, and they are going to do it very well with this composition. It's not the hardest one to execute in the world, and as long as Virus doesn't get caught in stupid positions, they should have a very good shot at winning any fight they enter with, like, I don't know, less than 10,000 gold deficit.
And as we hopefully speedrun to this draft, who do you think is gonna make the first play in the early game?
It has to be Sam. It has to be Taui. It has to be Hentai. They need the lead. They need to be the one to make things happen around the map. Of course, Dingo could find angles to gank somewhere, right? With the Nunu and Willem. Has good clear, has good gank setup. But I do expect Taui to try to find something in the very early stages.
This looks a bit interesting if you look at the draft.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to
Sam's
be
got the
Morgana
Wukong.
jungle. Yeah.
That could also be an angle here.
Morgana jungle, very popular last year when she got buffed. She, ever since the nerf and basically the revert of the buff, she has fallen down in popularity, but she still has a strong early game clear if you practice it.
Now, we're going to find out in about 3.5 minutes how well Taui has practiced that Morgana clear. Unless, of course, they role swap around a bit and have Sembete jungle on the Wukong, which I doubt they will, but it's Hentai. You never know with them.
Do you think this Wukong is going to build Sunder or is going to build straight up to one-shot the Wukong?
I think if he's solo laning, he's going to try and one-shot. Not sure how smart that would be, but if he manages to one-shot the Kog'Maw, there's no more damage on the side of Ronin. Their comp very much is a all eggs in the virus basket composition, and if there is a champion that can one-shot that Wukong, that Kog'Maw, despite the Yuumi being on it, then I see a very dark future for Ronin's chances of this game and consequently this series. It's not going to be easy, though, to one-shot a Kog'Maw that stands behind such a front line and has a Yuumi on top of it.
I would really love to see a force of nature actually coming out from these Kog'Maw.
Yeah, that would be huge.
After like the randomings, and a force of nature from like Ornn and Nunu would be really insane as well.
Yeah, everybody go force of nature.
They would be unkillable if Wukong decides to opt for the assassin build.
Yeah, and if he goes the damage, like the bruiser build, he's never going to fight the Kog'Maw on even ground, right? He's never going to kill the tanks anyway. Like, sure, he's going to kill the tanks, but the fight is over by the point he's got enough damage into Ornn or Nunu to actually kill them.
Well, it really depends if Sona can out-heal the Kog'Maw damage, because Wukong can be a really strong hyper carry on the bruiser build. With healing behind him, can really like survive team fights, especially with the Death Dance and Sunder.
That does make sense. That could be the angle as well, but out healing a Kog'Maw with 3 items that also has a Yuumi, not sure about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite hard.
Yeah, I think an important, if not the most important part of the team fights in the later stages is going to be if anyone can find an angle where they flank, right? If the Ornn finds a big triple knockout with a flanking ultimate, or if the Nunu can like get around the front line, or if the Wukong finds a backline access for his ultimate, it's going to be so impactful. These fights are going to be explosive, and could be decided very early on if the Kog'Maw falls or if the Wukong dies before the rest of the team has time to do the damage.
Now, Joe, this is gonna sound very unnatural, especially for the draft, and I do not expect to see this build, but there is a hidden Wukong mid build
Oh,
that has a lot of one-shot potential, and
is
that
it
is
AP?
it is Manamine AP Wukong,
No way.
because
Alright.
because your clone can proc Lich Bane and can proc Ludens again, and if you take Ingenious Hunter, you can proc like 3 Ludens in one ultimate rotation.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's like 400 extra damage. That would be very interesting, but I do not expect Sam to go for that build,
Yeah,
especially
would
in
be
the
very
draft.
risky.
Yeah, and it looks
Yeah,
like he opted for Conquer.
yeah, that looks much more like a Divine Sunderer kind of build. But we're going to have to see where they all go with this. It is Morgana Jungle. That is something I'm very interested in how it's going to look as we prepare to sync up with our production here. And are paused at 10 seconds.
1 second. Okay, I'm ready.
Production, are we ready? Yeah. And we're live on Summoner's Rift, Split 2 of 2022 of Valence League's Division 3, Group B. We got through it once again. Hinterhaven on the blue side. They are leading the series 1-0 over Ronin. Hira on the red side. And we're going to hopefully see a lot of team fighting this game because that's what these comps want to do. And it looks like we could be looking at a cheeky invade here early on from Ronin.
Well, it's more like a 4-man stack preventing an invade.
Yeah, but Hentai shown no intention of invading. Morgana's even standing right in front of the turret.
Oh, and now they decide to go.
Oh yeah, Morgana's very far forward. Taui is in danger if he stays there. They're gonna come from behind. Yeah, now they show themselves. Taui is in trouble, gets sloped by the Yumi, gets a Q through onto the Nunu and gets away to turret. But that's half of Taui's HP as minions spawn. He doesn't have time to recall.
That was really bad.
Yeah, that's really bad. And it was just very, very greedy to just stand so far forward for not much of a reason, honestly.
I would honestly flash instead of starting Q, because your jungle clear is gonna suck really hard now, especially that first game. You really need to get a strong leash, and that gives Ornn the ability to control the lane in the early game, because Morgana doesn't have that faster clear. She can't double camp now.
Yeah, very, very rough for Taui that early game. While Dingo's using the Nunu and Willem's early clear very nicely. Already got the Grand almost. And now will be ahead in the early stages of this jungle clear. And also, Fatman Gandhi got a little bit of an advantage in the top lane, as you said. This is not the best matchup very early on for the Scion. You can't really charge your Q, because if you try to do it, On is just going to W auto-attack you and break the Q channel. So Gandhi is going to be here. Oh no, that's a knockout landing onto Gandhi. Very well done by Beak there. I'm really interested to see how this bot lane goes. The Brand Sona against the Kog'Maw and Yumi. Any thoughts on that, Cloud?
Ooh, I do believe Brand and Sona should have the early poke. But if Virus is mechanically gifted, he should be able to dodge and survive this lane. It's more of a skill lane rather than a one side dominates it, you know, because if
that's a big disco ball, forces the flash from Beeg. Still gets the knock up. Gandhi just misses his though. But now Beeg without a flash will have to play very, very carefully in that top lane.
But look at it, they are doing exactly what we'd rather them not do. We didn't want to see much stuff happening in the top lane.
Yeah, that Beak is being pushed in. I'm not sure. Oh, Nunu wants another goal. Beak doesn't have his flash this time. If the disco ball hits, he's gonna die. There it is. The knock-up lands, but he gets the Q channel in time to stop the dive. But he will have to recall and TP back to lane now.
You can see that Gandhi really wants to flash on him right there.
Yeah, but it would be a trap. He would just die as well, and would have just bonus flash there.
And the ward prevents Morgana from ganking. Morgana that didn't get full clear. Nunu got in some early game impact. I think Nunu is currently winning the jungle matchup, even if he's behind in one camp.
Alright, that's a good poke onto Virus. Yumi is cut off a little bit, but they can't capitalize here. And now the heal comes in. This is going to be a not very eventful lane, I think. They're just going to poke each other a bit. They're going to heal each other up again, and only if jungle attention comes here, I think much will happen.
Yeah, when you asked me about the matchup bot lane, you can see Virus started the boots and 4 pods to dodge.
Here comes the disco ball. Oscar forced to flash. Ranio flashes as well. Oscar now gets hit. Heal comes in from Ranio. Oscar has no way out. The exhaust lands to the Virus. Can they get the return kill? No, they cannot. First blood goes to Virus for the second game in a row. This time it's only one though. B gets good damage here. And they just exchange grasp with the Undying procs back. Gandhi gets another knock-up, another proc. They're both very, very low. B gets another level up. This is extremely close. Gandhi can't step on that Q or he dies. But for now...
he tries to catch him with the Q.
Oh, that could be it. Nope. Walks out of it.
Yeah.
For Beak, the shield, the W, is going to be extremely useful in this stage of the lane. Because when everybody's low HP, he can just soak up some damage.
Can block at least one brittle proc. Especially now in the early game, and a lot more in later stages.
Yeah, the disadvantage he has, he is running out of mana much more quickly than the Ornn is. Gandhi, the Ornn ability is not as mana intensive as the Scion ones, and he already has a tier of the Goddess stacking. And here comes the Horn. Caller of the Forge God comes in, knocks out the Scion, but the camera has panned away from the top lane, so I assume no one's died there.
And I do believe it's going to be a hold breaker first on Scion, because he opted for the longsword on his first back.
Yeah, interesting choice there. Meanwhile, Sam and Delight just trading a bit of farm, trading a bit of autos. Sam slightly ahead, which is not bad for a melee versus ranged matchup, if I'm being quite honest. Now, Taui has been caught doing the dragon. He is so low, gets healed up by the Sona a little bit, but they're not done yet. He is turning away. They are going to give him up. And Virus gets another kill on himself. That's just where Hentai don't want the kills to be. Oscar now, meanwhile, is exhausted. Will get killed as well. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Delight has solo killed Sambete. And this is 4-0 in kills. This is a 2,000 gold lead. This game is going all Ronin for the moment.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest weaknesses of Wukong in the mid lane. He is very short range. He has a way to get on the enemy, but even if you do, most of the mid laners are AP champions, and Wukong is an armor stacking champion because of his passive and lacks in the magic resist department.
Right then, top laners are looking for Taui, but Ornn gets away easily. Rani not seeing and thus not stopping the recalls from Virus and Ego. Virus has so much gold currently, he's already affording the tier 2 boots and the Rage Knife as well as a Cloak of Agility. This Kog'Maw is going to be hurting if he gets to auto-attack a couple times. Tough for Hentai. This time it's not a Draven that's fed, that you can just outscale. This is a Kog'Maw. You're never gonna outscale that.
Yeah, I do agree. Kog'Maw will have very little. He will have a lot of outplay potential in the late game, but Hentai Evan will have very little chance of killing him.
Sam goes for Delight here. That is so much damage. Delight tries to get out the queue. Here comes the Nunu for support. Samvete, can he dodge the cannonball? No, he cannot. There's the charm landing as well. Goes forward. Gets the solo kill, though. That was a trap. Samvete now against Dingo Unleashed. I don't think he has a way to get out. If he gets the W up in time, he might. But here comes the Nunu ultimate. Samvete, one more auto will kill him. And he gets that clone just in time to survive. Flash is forced, but Dingo flashed for this as well. Very, very well played by Samvete.
Yeah, Sam just knows his limits on this champion. He knew he could go for that trade kill.
Great knockup from B. The shield procs as well. Good damage onto Gandhi here. That's what we call winning a trade in the top lane. You get like 100 health more than the other tank. But here comes the attempt. He ults forward. Gandhi's on 300 HP. This could be it. The battle proc. So here comes the ultimate. He could turn it around. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, a dive is happening. Oscar gets a kill for himself. In the top lane, B does get the kill onto Gandhi. It's 2-0 for Hentai Haven across the map.
Everything starts going wrong. Just like last game.
Oh, and here comes Tauri in the bot lane as well. Virus gets the zoomies to run away. But yeah, very well done by Hentai Haven. They seem to know the limits on their champions also well. First Samvete, then Beak in the top lane. He was on like double digits HP at the very most. But he had so much damage from that early pickaxe, from that long sword. And he manages to get the kill onto Gandhi. And now he's got the lead in the top lane. Wheeler in the bot lane. Here comes the Yumi ultimate. They root the brand down, and this time they get the kill. Virus on a killing spree. 3-0-1.
Yeah, and you can see Virus.
It's flashing away from Tauri, flashing forward, gets the kill, doesn't die! He can get something, one more order will do it, but he gets it! He gets the shutdown, will fall in return though. It's a double for the Kog'Maw, 5 kills already. Now Delight has come first, Samvete is against 2 people, gets a knock up onto Delight, but Delight has a Yumi. There is no way Samvete can win this. Charm lands, Ignite lands, Delight gets the kill, and this is so back and forth, Cloud. No one can know who's gonna win here, but for now, Ronin got the lead again.
Super well played by Virus there. Flashes away from the Morgana ult to be able to kill the Sona, and then the Yumi blocks the Morgana key, so he can actually so Virus can actually trade kills on the Morgana.
Yeah, and now Kog'Maw has a Rage Blade already, as well as the Moonstone Renewal on the Yumi. 1-0-6. That is a strong cap right there. Hentai Haven will have to probably rely on this Scion, who is at the moment very much stronger than Gandhi. Doesn't yet have the Hullbreaker, but he's dominating this matchup currently. Another knockout lands. Gandhi down to 500 HP. This could be troublesome. Once Beak has that unstoppable onslaught back up, he could go for an attempt at a kill.
And these tanks are gonna get so much stronger on Wednesday when the new patch lands.
Oh yeah, I'm looking very forward to that as a tank player myself.
I'm quite an assassin enjoyer.
Well
so
then,
that's gonna hurt me.
Yeah, I press F for you and your ilk, but I'm very happy for the tanks being more useful again. Because it is annoying when you go into the late game as a tank with full build, and then like not even an ADC, but an assassin can duel you. That's not fun.
Yeah, whilst everything's been happening in this game, Nunu has picked up the Rift Herald, and he's looking to gank mid lane now.
Big Disco Ball knocks the clone up, only though Taui gets tagged by the Kog'Maw spit from the ultimate. Living artillery, but not much more happens here, but the gank is prevented. Now Nunu can make his way down to the bottom lane together with Willem. Disco Ball is being rolled. Here comes the unstoppable onslaught. Surprise science! He gets a knock up onto that Kog'Maw. Outbrained, my friend. And they get the kill, they get the shutdown. 600 gold goes into Beak's pockets. Perfect timing on that Scion ultimate. And they're going to pick up the dragon as well. Ornn has teleported down, but it doesn't matter. Delight is being chased away by Sam. Dodges the charm! And gets the kill. Not the charm, it was the Q actually that he got through. But now Hentai Haven have swung the pendulum back in their favor. Now they're just 500 behind. They got a big shutdown onto that Scion. Beak is now really big.
And really smart by Sam to go conditioning in his, not conditioning, and flinching in his rooms. Oh, he didn't. He actually went Legend Tenacity. That's the one I meant to say, because that charm lasted very short, so Sam could get away from the tower range. And you can see, if last game was a game of Sam against Samvete against Virus, this game is a game of Samvete and Big against Virus.
Yeah, but Delight, to be fair to him, has been playing not all too bad. He's got 2 kills for himself.
Yeah.
He's within the range of Samvete CS. So he's doing decently. But now Nunu in the top lane is a 3-man attempt at this tower. And they they're just gonna knock it down, it seems. The answer is just too late from Hentai.
But I would really like Yumi to go away so more gold goes into Kog'Maw right here.
Well, tower survives actually. It could be a big 4v4 in the top lane here. Only the top laners are in the bottom lane, ironically. But it does seem like no fight is breaking out for the moment. Beak is dominating this matchup, though. He knows the limits of the matchup much better than Fatman Gandhi, it seems. Always knows when to press Q and when not to. And is dominating the matchup for the moment. Gets another knock-up onto Gandhi.
Yeah, it seems like Gandhi is a bit too trigger-happy with his Ws.
He uses the W to farm a lot, it seems, and that allows Big to just use the Q to farm himself.
And we can see Kog'Maw now building towards the wit's end, I expect.
Yeah, it must be. He's trolling if he isn't, with so much AP damage on the other side. Another knockup will land onto Fatman Gandhi. Look at this, he's at 500. The Unstoppable Onslaught is available for the Sam. Sam, meanwhile, has dodged the charm this time. They get by the Everfrost though, and here comes another Disco Ball. Look at this, Gandhi's on 200 HP, and some Onslaught is available. Sam gets knocked up, but no follow-up from Delight, who is very low on HP. And now Gandhi recalls in that bottom lane. Here comes the Ornhorn to try to prevent the dive, but now Beak still hasn't used the ultimate. If he gets another knockup, he's gonna kill him. Knockup lands, Brittle Prot lands, has good return damage, tanks the tower, he could die, has to flash away actually, dies to the tower, still shutdown goes to Gandhi. Beak outplayed himself there. Gandhi did that well though, but I think Beak too trigger happy.
And now the tower survives in the bot lane. There's no chance for the team of Ronin and Hira to get first tower, because if Fatman Gandhi reset or died there without trading kills on Beak, the tower would have definitely fallen down, and now the Hullbreak comes on, we could expect to see more split push.
Yeah, Beak should have just let Gandhi recall it. Oh, that's a good route from the Morgana. Taui, perfect timing on the route there onto Delight, and they get an easy kill in the mid lane. Now, Oscar and Raniel just need to defend this tower a little bit longer, but here comes the ultimate from Yumi, forcing Raniel's flash and rooting up Oscar. Tower is very, very low. They're pushing in the mid lane. Sion's coming top. They're not pushing bot. They get first tower mid though, with the help of the Wukong Q, which does a ton of damage to towers.
Yeah, and it is the Sander build. One of my favorite items in this game. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh no, Oscar falls back and he gets just killed by Virus. Forward with the flash exhaust. Gets the kill. Ranyo dies as well. Double kill. Here comes the Sion and the Wukong to get something in return. They will kill the Kog'Maw. And now Yumi has no way out either. Double kill for Samvete. 2v2 in the top lane. On gets free time on the turret though. Just as in 50 seconds a dragon will spawn, so the resets are probably going to come in. Enter Haven though are now in the gold lead.
Yeah, I would expect Sam to recall here and run straight to that dragon. B can still stay top lane, he has the TP up. Gandhi needs to stay bot lane, he doesn't have the TP, and Delight would probably just get mid prio and look for vision in the jungle with the Nunu.
Hullbreaker Sion gets the top turret, is just gonna keep pushing.
Oh shit, who's gonna stop this Sion now? Because Gandhi doesn't have a TP.
Yeah, nobody. He's just gonna push, and they have to give up the Drake or at least the inner turret. Gandhi has recalled, is going top. The teleport is going to be available in a short amount of time, 18 seconds, so they still could contest the Drake. But if On TP's away and Hentai Haven just give up the Drake, they could get an inhib. So this is quite the dilemma here for Ronin with this strong Sion, who has recalled though. He's teleported to the bot lane. They don't want to get the push, they want to get the fight. Charmed by Taui?
They probably don't have timers. Oh, and the OTP is now up.
Sion is in the backline though, they have spotted him, and that's why they're turning around. This is going to be very tense. They are flanked from two sides. Delight gets hit by the Morgana, and the fight has started. Quadruple knockup from Samvete. Absolute slaughter. Hentai Haven destroy Ronin with a clean ace. Only Eagle lives for the moment, but that does not for long. Triple kill for Samvete. They get the dragon as well. They probably could get the herald or a couple of turrets. Absolute destruction. Hentai even execute this fight perfectly.
And it is the team fight that we mentioned in the champion select. And it is what you said, the team fights better is gonna win the team fight. And
yeah, the team on the flank. Sion was on the back line. And then once one Morgana Q hits, all the buttons are pressed. All the R buttons are hit by index fingers. And all the enemies die. Here comes the re-engage though on two people. They get the tower, but they're gonna pay for that with their lives. Probably. Beak is very, very tanky, but does get shut down by Virus. It's 4 versus 2. Sam flashes away and uses the blast count to maybe even live here. So they trade one life for the turret. I'd say that's worth it.
Yeah, it has been a really shaky early game for Tau. And he hasn't been able to find gangs in the bot lane like he tried to. He was forced to start the queue, but when it mattered, he landed that ability that he started with.
Yeah, and here we go. It is Ronin on the front foot for the moment as they have killed Beak, so they get that Herald right before it despawns. Just barely. They would have had 5 more seconds.
Yeah.
But they get the Herald, they could summon it mid lane, and objective bounties are up, so that would be worth an extra couple hundred gold if it gets the chucked in.
Yeah, we have a turret low in the bot lane that Gandhi should be able to pick up. There is a turret low in the top lane that they should be looking at later in the game.
They're looking for the fight. For now, the turret has not been killed. Ranio gets just destroyed by the Kog'Maw Yuumi, but meanwhile, Kog'Maw's already dead. Samvete is doing so much damage, even through the exhaust now. Dingo is in behind enemy lines, was exhausted, gets the ult off, but will just die. Samvete is godlike, and they are just destroying Ronin in every single fight that happens. Flash Force from Delight, and Taui hits another Q on him. Ornal to try and save his mid laner, but he's so low. Flash from Beak to try and get the W prop, but does not get it. Delight survives, but now Gandhi is behind 2 enemies. Can he live? He is a tanky boy, that Ornn, and will get away for the moment, but another Morgana Q lands, max range, and he will fall. Samvete is legendary on the Wukong mid lane, and they will get the inhib turret. They do not turn around before the inhib. They will try to get this, but they turn around as they see champions coming. But yet another fight won by Hentai Haven, and now their lead is 5,000 gold almost.
And now Kog'Maw is opting for that Hydra, for that Tiamat that it should probably go into a Titanic Hydra. And I would really love to see a Gale Force, since his Yuumi didn't go Shurelias to speed him up to be able to run away from that Wukong, from that Sion engage.
Oh, they're looking for the fight. Virus, they just walked into Fog of War. They knew Samvete was there. They are trying to kill the Morgana. They do get that kill, but they cannot escape the Mad Monkey. Samvete on the Wukong gets 1, gets 2, and now they're going to chase Ari as well. Charm lands. And there is the Everfrost, but Sam is just not stopped. The tenacity is too big. Here comes the Disco Ball. Dingo Unleashed tries to get something, but Samvete just dashes through it. Delight lives on 1 HP for the second time in 2 minutes. Sam just keeps chasing. He's legendary still. He kills the Nunu, and he's just healing through everything. He's doing so much damage. The red buff burns and slows. They can chase Gandhi. There's no turret. He will get this one as well. Oscar picks it up with the Flame Pillar. And Hentai Haven have stopped giving a fuck. They've started giving kills to each other, and they are dominating this phase of the game.
Yeah, this is a Conqueror style Wukong with Sunderer. He will legit heal through everything if you don't have healing reduction, which the only healing reduction is on the On, which showed last in the team fight, or rather the prolonged fight, because it wasn't really a team fight. Everyone just went in 1 by 1.
Yeah, he just killed everybody else first and didn't bother hitting the On until only the On was left.
Yeah.
And he's also level 14, which might have helped his case. 12, 2, and 5 on the Wukong. He was already going legendary on the Samira in Game 1, and now in Game 2 he's still dominating this one. But now he may have gotten caught by the living artillery. That's a lot of damage he eats from that Kog'Maw. Remember, with Kog'Maw Ayumi in the bot lane, a game is never over as long as they are alive. So still hope for Ronin, but they are about 6,500 gold behind. It's going to be a tough battle upwards for them. As Hentai Haven, in about 20 seconds, can pick up their third Drake.
They can afford to give one more Drake. They're going to pick up a bounty in the top lane here, and Kog'Maw should be able to clear waves, get a bunch of gold from these empowered minions, super minions rather, and be able to get his items and maybe look to carry the game.
Yeah, he has picked up the giant spell, so it is going to be Titanic Hydra as his next item, pardon. That will help him survive the Wukong burst, but since Wukong has opted for the Bruiser build with the Divine Sunderer, he can stick to him and try to kill the Kog'Maw anyway. So Exhaust and Barrier are going to be two very, very important summoner skills in the very short term. Now Baron is alive, and Hentai Haven wastes no time trying to get that.
It is a Mountain Soul, so Wukong and Big are really gonna be smiling here for the extra resistances and the shield if they are able to pick that up.
They just take it. They just took the Baron. Not even an attempt at a steal with the living artillery or anything. I think they just snuck that under their noses.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford to try to walk further than where Kog'Maw is now.
Right then, Hentai Haven, with all the cards in their hands, now they need to not drop the flop. They need to stick together. They need to play these fights as well as they have been and kill the Kog'Maw and then clean up the rest. Because Kog'Maw is the only real damage threat. Ari not yet there, with only the Everfrost and a bit of AP. Did pick up some hero reduction, but the fight is going to start. Here comes the unstoppable onslaught from Sion. Face planting into the inhibitor, but they have found the back line. Ornhorn knocks up a couple of people. Here comes Gandhi, here comes Dingo. The Kog'Maw has not been reached. Oscar has gone golden. Beak is in the back line, but shutdown one goes through to the Kog'Maw. Could this be the turn? Dingo falls to Towie, but Kog'Maw still fighting away. He's so low. Samvete has gone golden, but Virus is still alive. Picks up another shutdown. Here comes Sam. Gets through. The heals coming from Ruby, but I pick up the Kog'Maw. They will get the kill. Triple kill goes to Towie, who is making this Morgana work despite dying. A triple kill on both sides, but Beak is still alive. The Hull Breaker Sion looking to break some turrets, but he's taken the damage. The minions will stay alive. It's looking like game over. 10 seconds until Dingo respawns, and the Nexus is exposed. I don't think there can be any fight yet. 5 seconds until the Nunu respawns. Nexus on half HP. Super minions empowered by Baron Nash hit it. Yeah, this is going to be over. Dingo tries his best, but that's going to be it. Hentai even 2-0.
And you can see the Virus tried his hardest to dodge everything. But the team of Hentai Haven got too ahead. It's what the team of Ronin Hira had to do in game one to be able to win it.
Yeah, they had the lead in both games at one point, right? They got early kills in the bottom lane on their ADC, but they didn't manage just enough to play around Virus as well as Hentai Haven were playing around Samvete. They put their eggs in the solo lane basket. It is a repeat of Worlds 2018. One team picks up all the eggs in the ADC basket like Fnatic or RNG with Reckless and Uzi. But then came the solo lane teams of IG and G2 and just took over the game. Solo laners carrying Hentai Haven here. Big props, though, as well to all the other players on Hentai Haven and to Virus. Those max range Morgana Qs are not to be forgotten from Towie, despite that rough early start. So, well done for Hentai Haven to pick up their first win of the year, of the split, rather.
And before we jump in an interview, who would be your MVP for this game?
I mean, it has to be Sam. Like everybody played well on the team, right? But Sam Vete with some clutch moments, and of course he got all the kills. He took he took all the triples. He did so much damage, and he was the person the team relied on to carry, and that's exactly what he did.
I do agree with that.
Now we are about to have an interview with Hentai Haven support Rani or Ranio. Hopefully soon enough being dragged in into our lobby to hear from the captain what the plans are for this split and what the thoughts are towards this series. 26-minute win in game 2. That was a quick one as well. We said they needed to win before 25 minutes, and that's almost what they did. 26 minutes, 6 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, they stopped the scaling. They punished Kog'Maw for being over-aggressive. In the early game, they punished him not having flash. In that way, they managed to win.
Yeah, and they got the flanks when they needed them with the Scion or with the Wukong, and just stack their ultimates in the team fights. And the advantage of playing a comp like this against a team fight comp is the enemy is going to be just as stacked as you are. So yeah, Rani about to come. Hoping to hear some thoughts here. Welcome, Rani. Congratulations on the win. How do you feel after this one?
I'm so stressed. Sam stresses me out. Like, genuinely. Yeah.
Well,
It's great, though. It was a really good team. Like, their bot lane was insane. Their ADC is a really good player. I'm surprised they didn't win, but for some reason they didn't play around him. So we got a free game for Sam and Beak.
I got a question about the Game 2 draft. How come you guys opted for the Wukong mid lane Morgana jungle rather than the other way around, or a Morgana in the bot lane with the Sona?
It's what we wanted to play.
Oh,
We don't do
okay.
good drafts. We just play what we want to play. We just play for fun.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right then, but playing for fun, winning 2 sub 30-minute games, that looked pretty good, despite the enemy team having some good moments and being ahead at one point in both games. What are the plans for this split? You fell short in players last split. Are you aiming for the title this time?
Or no, I don't want to go to Division 2.
Well, that is
Joe. I am not going to Division 2. Very cracked. But yeah.
But please don't stand back, you know?
I also think that, honestly, I'm not sure who else is in our group, but I think our group looks really strong. From what I remember, because it's like good teams.
I don't know who is on the teams, but the other teams in the group are Ablaze, Area 69, nice name, Claytrons, and Warband Academy.
Yeah.
No results yet in from the other series. You guys were... No, Claytrons also beat Area 2-0. Ablaze and Warband are still playing. But yeah, it's looking good for you, starting with the win against a team this strong. Don't you think you can win?
I mean, maybe?
I mean, it just seems...
Sorry?
It just seems you guys are having fun whilst winning the game, and that's the best way to play the game, isn't it?
Oh, game 1, I was... Okay, so basically... I work in healthcare, right? So I'm fucking stressed at my job already, and I was frustrated, and I came into this game, and Tawi just walked into my lane, into the enemy ADC. Then Oscar died to him, and I was just sitting there like, I'm not sure if I should cry or laugh. I was so ready to like just fucking quit the team, leave the apple, quit my job while I'm at it.
Yeah, but then some started getting kills, and you won that fight around Dragon. That was a big surprise to me because you were behind. The Draven had 4 kills, but you just jumped on them. How did you come to the decision to take that fight?
They take every fight they see. Do you really think Sam as a game plan? It's Tawi, Sam, and Oscar. They're all fucking words I can't say on stream.
So they have embraced the LPL mentality of see hero, kill hero, huh?
Yeah. No, I genuinely don't really know how they lost those fights because their ADC, as I said, was really fit. He was really good. I think he He made my games a hell. I hate you, virus.
Oh, and I got one more question before we wrap this up, Ronnie. You guys are gonna play them in the future again, since it's a double round robin split, if I am not mistaken. Do you expect them to improve quite drastically?
I
from
mean, I
how they
hope for
played before?
them that they start playing around their ADC. Because like Wilder did a really good job, right? Just boosting up his ADC, but I don't know, like it was those games where they just had to stand on top of their ADC, take all the damage for him, die for him, like what we did with Sam game 1, and just win easily because he did insane damage, and they didn't. So I hope for them they just learn how to play around their ADC because that's their biggest win con.
All right then. One last. I always ask this question. Is there someone you want to call out?
Call out?
Yeah, call out somebody.
Oh.
Or flame somebody. I don't know.
Shout out rather.
Yeah, you can shout out or you can call out.
Okay, I'm gonna do what I do on every stream, right?
Sure.
So basically, most of the guys on my team are still single. Beak is 6'5". He lives in Germany. He has his own house. So if you want to hit him up, pop me a DM. Then there's Sam Witt, who is kind of tiny, but he's hot, so it makes up for it. And have you seen the Samira? So like I can also give you his Discord, and then Sam is Swedish, by the way, so it has to be rich, right? And then we have Oscar, who also lives alone. Comes from a rich family. He's Norwegian, so yeah, rich and Scandinavian go together, right? He's, I don't know, like 1.72 m. They're not that tall, to be fair, to be Scandinavian, but you know, if anyone's interested, they're all
then.
single.
But if we send people to you have to rename to Tinder Haven.
Honestly, I would if I could.
All right then. I think that about should wrap it up. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you guys for playing. Congratulations again on the win. Cloud, thank you very much for being here with me, and of course, thanks to British on production. Cloud, I'll give you the outro. See you guys next time.
And that was Split 2, oh my days, Division 3 of VL Group B. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh my god.
Oh, you guys did that so